The relentless volume of your inbox is a hard-coded structural requirement of modern work. You clear your inbox, take a breath, and find it refilling before you can even finish a coffee break. Email operates like a zombie that keeps rising from the dead. When you fall behind on that stream, the common instinct is to look inward. You assume the problem is a lack of discipline or a failure to master the right time management system. You try the popular productivity hacks, like strict filters and inbox rules, or even daily time blocking, only to watch those personal systems collapse under the weight of incoming requests. Framing digital overload as an individual flaw hides the actual cause. It masks the invisible organizational forces that mandate this exhausting workflow. To understand our current fatigue, we have to look back at the shift away from the highly optimized industrial assembly line. Early knowledge workers required an entirely different set of rules for their labor. Management theorists like Peter Drucker argued that knowledge work depends on creativity. To get the best results, managers had to grant employees extreme autonomy, moving away from rigid top-down control. That philosophy empowered workers to execute complex tasks, but it created a massive blind spot. It applied that same autonomy to how the work was organized. Without clear rules for collaboration, offices defaulted to the hyperactive hive mind, a system that relies on unscheduled ad hoc digital messages to coordinate everything. In this system, a single project fragments into dozens of asynchronous message chains across email and Slack, each requiring a response to keep the wheels turning. Because these chains require constant back and forth, leaving your inbox unmonitored for even a few hours causes the entire workflow to stall. This creates a reinforcing loop. Without a shared organizational process, workers must constantly check screens to keep the system moving. Constant digital connectivity serves as a strict structural requirement of the unmanaged system, overriding individual choice or personal habits. That unmanaged external system immediately collides with our internal biology, especially when we try to focus on deep, concentrated work. Concentrating puts your brain in a state of flow. Shifting context is an expensive biological operation, taking energy to switch cognitive frameworks. This is amplified by the Zeigarnik effect, our tendency to remember unfinished tasks. These fragments linger in working memory, continuously burning mental energy. A flooded inbox acts as a massive visual reminder of dozens of unfinished tasks, keeping the brain locked in a perpetual state of cognitive tension. The intersection of the hyperactive hive mind and the Zeigarnik effect creates an architecture designed to exhaust your cognitive function. This architecture drives a boundary collapse, where the walls between professional labor and personal leisure are erased by digital tools. It also accelerates an economic concept called shadow work, the unpaid, unmeasured tasks that institutions quietly offload onto the individual, much like early self-serve gas stations shifted labor onto drivers. Today, managing a constant stream of digital communication is the ultimate form of modern shadow work. Companies force individuals to act as their own uncompensated organizational managers, sorting and prioritizing the chaos that the institution failed to structure. The result is a society-wide epidemic of burnout, driven by this invisible, unending labor. Digital exhaustion is structural and entirely predictable. And now you see it a little more clearly.